Welcome to the Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, where we keep you up to date with everything going on in the Cold Fusion community. We'll share the latest news on events, releases to engines, frameworks, libraries, and tools, as well as spotlighting quality content from the community. Welcome to Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition. It is 226, episode 226, and it's the last day of 2024, Daniel.
It is. Happy New Year, my friend.
Yep, Happy New Year. New Zealand, waiting for my parents to wake up in the new year to tell us if it's worth waiting up tonight or not. But
Actually, is it New Year's in New Zealand yet?
oh yeah, yep. It's 7 a.m. over there on the 1st of January, so...
Oh,
Yeah, usually for New Year's, you'd wake up and then you'd watch all the videos of all the other people around the world celebrating. It's kind of fun, you get to watch all the celebrations and fireworks from everywhere, and it's kind of weird. But, yep.
that's funny. The only thing we do is we watch the Times Square thing, and then do our own thing in Chicago. Well, I want to say a big old Happy New Year to all those in the chat. We've got some old friends. Not that they're old, but they're definitely friends. We got David Bellinger out there, and we got Gary Knight. I think that's it so far, but we want to definitely give a shout out to say hello, Happy New Year's, sirs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm glad we got to get one more episode out for this year, and yeah, it'd be interesting to maybe chit chat a little bit later about what 2024 brought us and what maybe we're looking forward to in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have some fun. Normally, Gavin, when you do this, you script it down to the T, and today we're just gonna wing it, right?
Some of it, yeah.
Some of it. You're like, let's not get crazy here. Let's have some fun.
Yep. Well, first let's just thank Order Solutions, our sponsor. Of course, they make Killbox, Mindbox, ForgeBox, Tastebox, and all the other boxes out there, except for those that are not legally allowed to claim. And but Box Slang is one of them too. So that's something that came out of 2024. The big announcement was the release of Box Slang as a beta. But another way you can say thanks to Order Solutions, though, is come see us Into the Box 2025 in Washington, D.C. You can buy tickets now.
It's April 30th and to May 2nd. Last week of April, first week of May.
Yep. This time we won't have to worry about missing up Mother's Day travel plans either, so that's good.
No kidding. And we're at the same venue. So if you liked it last year or liked it this year, you're going to like it next year.
Yep, for sure. It's a great little location. Of course, we're on YouTube, so you can like and subscribe to our videos on there, which include this podcast and some other content as well. And if you are using GitHub, which most people are these days, go star and fork the repos of all the Cold Fusion projects you use. It just helps give a little bit more visibility and a little bit more cred to those projects. So we appreciate it. And there is a little module that Daniel was sharing that helps you automatically star and basically all the repos that your ForgeBox modules use. So
pretty surprised cool. Eric didn't call this like Forkbox or something.
Yeah, but, I think the star part is only a piece of it, but we just didn't add anything else to it yet. I'm not sure. But yeah, of course, if you're listening on your podcast player, please leave us a review. If you leave us a good review, let us know, and we'll try and get it read on the podcast as well. And we have free and paid accounts in CFCast, which is great for video training material for Cold Fusion related education. And then we got some cool stuff up on the Box Life store as well. So if you want to look cool, we got some pretty cool order swag up there. And of course, we've got a few books, right, Daniel?
We do. We've got the 102 Cold Box HMVC Quick Tips and Tricks. You can get that on Gumroad or on Amazon. If you want it hardcover, you can get it there as well. You can also do the Learn Modern CFML in 100 plus minutes. It's free online. Or if you want to, buy an ebook or paper copy, you can do that too, or just read it on the website.
Yep, it's pretty cool. A lot of good updates have been put in there, and it's really nice to see the modern way to do a lot of the things we've done for years in Cold Fusion. So, again, good for new people coming on, or also just for the people who have been, 5-tagging it for a while. They can learn a few tricks from that one as well.
Yep, absolutely. Some of us that have been like maybe eight tagging it, just can go back and learn a couple more.
Yep, exactly. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without our Patreon support. We're up to 61 patrons now. It's pretty crazy. So, um, and David said Gavin needs to start selling his iron-on patches. Mine lasted longer than the shirt. Yep, that's for sure. And I'm actually got some ones that we put on the shirt at CF Summit. So we put some iron-ons as well. But yeah, a lot of the time the direct to garment stuff that you get online these days, it's not as good. It doesn't last as long as the direct to film, as they put it. The direct to film stuff that allows you to apply later actually seems to hold up a lot better. And that's why I've actually started doing that for all my merch stuff that I do now.
Yeah, I was kind of having issues with mine too. So if you don't know, Gavin's our merch master. He does all sorts of really cool things, and I
Yeah,
look at what Gavin does, like I want to do that, and then I try it, and it never comes out as well. But
yeah, it's
such is life.
yeah. There's a few tricks for sure. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it does take some time to play with, but of course, I always got lots of crazy ideas and dive into things. So, but yeah, the direct to garment stuff that a lot of the online shops just aren't quite the same. I don't know if it's just the way they do it, the different inks. Yeah, but I definitely the iron on or they call it direct to film if you want to look it up. It's a lot better. Usually, again, you still get issues with that too. But
Well, what I want to know if David is lamenting his iron-on patch, or not lamenting, but praising the iron-on patches. David, are you going to be in DC in 5 months? You gonna be able to come into the box? Let us know. People want to know.
yeah, it's always good to have David one of our events.
Oh, sadly not this year. Boo. Okay.
Yeah,
Boo,
well,
missed
we will. We'll have to get him live on some of the videos though. We'll have to get him involved there for sure. So
you. Oh, Gary will be there. Hey,
nice.
we're happy again.
Yeah, that's great.
Got a real roller coaster of emotions today. It's like, oh, we're sad about David, but we're happy about Gary.
Yep. Yeah, David said he did too much travel this year with ITB and CF camp, but still, that's good to get out and about, and I'm sure he'll try to make it next year.
Yep. Nope. Well, we'll
Okay.
miss you, buddy.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get into it, man.
Yep. So
I'm
news
excited. We're
news
gonna get
and
through this.
announcements. So there was some Tomcat vulnerability discussion on the Lucy forum. So I just wanted to reiterate in case anyone didn't realize. And so there's a time of check, time of use, race condition vulnerability in Apache Tomcat. And so I know that has affected some of the other patches out there lately for different things. And it affects just certain versions of Tomcat. So 11.0.0 through 11.0.1 and 10.1.0 through 10.133 and 9.0.0 through 9.0.97. And so basically, the good news is if you're getting a new version of Lucy, it seems that it actually does. I think you get 9.0.98 from the start, which is safe, but there's some information in the CVE record and also in the Lucy forum about which versions are, an issue. And actually, it's pretty easy to fix. You just need to change a couple of Java properties to disable stuff. So if you are using one that might be affected, you can just turn off those settings. So that
Now, does
information is
this
there.
impact command box at all?
We're using Runwire underneath, and we're not using Tomcat, so not an
I
issue, I
was,
believe.
I was setting you up, Kevin, to be like, if you're
Just
using command box, you're fine.
yeah. Well, I'm just making sure because I don't want to give false information out there, but I have to think a little bit. I'm like, no, we're using Runwire, so it's not Tomcat. So yes, you're fine.
Yeah,
So
sorry, I was doing a bit. I was trying to set you up and then have you just. If you use command box, you are good.
yeah, cannot handle those right now. But yeah, but yeah,
It's
some good
early.
information there for BKBK, and I forget who that is. I know he's been on the forums for years, but he gave all the steps to go through and take care of that. If you're on the Lucy blog, you can see that in the link safe.
David's like, what Brad would have said that, Gavin.
Yeah, I'm not Brad. We all know that.
And we're all thankful you're not Brad. Brad is awesome, but one Brad is good.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes we may think otherwise. So,
Mm.
well, do we want to do a quick little recap since we're talking about news and announcements? So, yeah,
Sure. How about
2024.
2024?
Yeah. So,
Well, the big news, Boxlang
yep.
announced at ITB in DC in May. Um, some people, and we were kind of teasing out, we had the private, the pre-release program. People are checking out, building excitement. This has been obviously a huge Ortus initiative. There's lots of reasons why we did this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have to go over all right now. But if you hopefully have seen a lot of our blogs, things, and videos, and it's exciting. It is so exciting to be part of this.
Yep. Very, very cool. And of course, can't go too far about 2024 about talking about all the AI craziness out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gone a little nuts, and things like Cursor out and all the sort of no code generation. I mean, you can take a Figma thing now and it'll spin up a React app from a Figma diagram, which is kind of crazy. There's all sorts of stuff out there, so lots there with 2024. But it's really got to the point where it's usable, but it's also got to the point where everything has it. I mean, I'm surprised Notepad doesn't have it yet, but everything else that Windows produces has some version of a Copilot thing and everything else. So,
The Chat GPT, and yeah, I dealt a lot of this with. If you didn't know, people out there, I got my master's degree. I got my master's in information technology, graduated a few weeks ago. And a big thing that they're talking about is all the AI issues and chat GPTs and what you can or can't do and ethics about it. And, it's here, it's not going away. And, oh, hey, thanks, Gary. And, yeah, it's definitely between Boxling and AI, and the robots coming to take over. How about you guys in the chat? Anything you want to shout out? What was your big aha moments from 2024?
yeah, while they're chatting it up there, I'm just gonna say, moving to DC was a big success too for Into the Box. That was a really good conference. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun, and
And you did it right. You and Kurt got some scooters and were like scooting all over the place on the some great photos and
yep. And the wife met me after the conference, so we spent the weekend there exploring a little bit more. So
mhm.
yep,
Finally got to meet her. Very nice lady.
yep,
Me
that's good.
too. Oh, so let's see. David said really got into the view world this year. That's awesome, David. And a co-pilot in VS Code. Yes, yes, it is awesome.
Yep. And it's kind of neat too with GitHub went out so that you can actually change out your engine for your AI in there. So you can actually choose something else. So if you want to switch out from using the Copilot Microsoft engine stuff, you can actually go and use like Google's or whatever. You can change out your engine. So it's pretty neat
And
that they're doing that. Um, and they're bringing a lot of the things in that Cursor is basically a fork and a big improvement of VS Code. Add all these features, workflows, etc., and then VS Code is incorporating a lot of them back in. So we're seeing a lot of stuff there.
I think GitHub released a free plan now for a Copilot.
Yeah, if you're
Um,
using it inside VS Code, it's free. But I don't know if
yep.
that's just the online version or actually in your
Oh, I think it's in your yeah, limits obviously, but I think it's like two. I'm looking at it right now, 2,000 completions and 50 chat requests. But if you want to play around with it, you get the free version. I know I had a student version for a while, and I was playing with it, and I was pretty. It's kind of scary that, but it was some of the stuff it was coming up with, but meaning that it was had a lot of insights into what I was thinking. And I'm like, oh, that's almost exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep, I really like the repetitive stuff that I'm doing. It's really good for that.
Yeah, boilerplate stubbing it out, and
Yeah, but it's getting better with the multi-page stuff now with the reactions and the sort of, basic refactoring. So if you're wanting to do more than just one page, it can go ahead and help you with more than one. Because before it was always on the current page, but the one thing that Cursor did, you could refactor something across the entire code base, and so VS Code isn't bringing that type of thing back too. So
well, Gary's given it a rounding endorsement on the paid version. Now, Gary, are you um, JavaScript, Cold Fusion, CFML? Are you kind of developing everything and supporting all your languages equally well, or um,
yeah, because
C-
obviously the more code it gets, the better it can help you.
CFML mostly? And he said it's working awesome. That's great.
Yep, very
That
cool.
is great. Let's see. Anything else in 2024? The big things? I feel like so much has happened. It was like my 2024 bingo card was just like completely insane with all the crazy things in the world. And but
Yeah.
I'm thinking in tech specifically, what the rise of Blue Sky, right? I finally got my Blue Sky account, but I haven't done much more with it than get my Blue Sky account.
Yeah, I haven't done much of it at all. I don't even think I have an account set up yet, to be honest.
You know how to
Too many different social media things everywhere. But
be social.
yeah, too much of that. But I know that like the V stuff is taking over the JavaScript world as far as like a consolidated, you know, data pipeline, and Void Zero is a new company that's going to be supporting it, so that's pretty cool in the JavaScript world too. Of course, all the server-side components and all the new versions of everything JavaScript is kind of crazy.
Yep. Oh, one of the cool things you did, Gavin, this year, you worked on the Try Boxling site with Lambdas.
Well, I got it. Yeah, I did the first part of it. I know Ismay has been doing a lot of work on it since. So uh, she's been doing a ton of stuff to make that better, improvements and all the features. But yeah, I was part of that. Working on that was kind of fun. So
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like there's all these things we could do boxling, and I don't think it was on our radar. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to do it. And then we did. It's like, okay, this is cool. Hey, guess what? Boxling supports Lambda fully because of what you guys were starting.
yeah, well,
It's
that's
like
I think that's the big
fast and
win is
furious.
the small little things you can do with Boxlang that you couldn't do with CFML because it's just too big is a big win for sure.
Yep. So coming into 2025, obviously the big thing is I think I can safely predict without getting in trouble that Boxling will be released in 2025
Yeah,
at some
I
point.
know we're looking for Q1, so we're working hard on that. Trying to get that out. Well, not when I say we, I mean we as an artist, not me too much. Personally, working on
The
other
royal
projects.
we,
Yep, exactly. But yeah,
yeah,
that'll be great to have out. I know that we're Luis is going to be at a couple of conferences, so not just CFML ones as well. So that's pretty cool. Um, yep, and then, oh, Jordan Clark joined us too. So
hey Jordan, you're
getting
saying getting Lucy debug working? How are you doing that, Jordan? That with the VS Code Boxling extension or something else?
Yeah, because debugging is something that's definitely a big plus for IDEs, and that's why we're so excited when Jacob started working on the VS Code extension and getting debugging working and everything else. So
VS Code, nice.
so cool. So getting
That is
Lucy
awesome.
debug working in that, yeah, that's great.
Hey, actually, you're right, Gab. We absolutely should shout out the all the VS Code boxling stuff that Jacob's doing, and because you know what, boxling is going to have an IDE. I mean, that's it, right? Everyone's using VS Code and um, stamping onto it, and it's not just for boxling either. You use it for all the CFML as well. So
Yep,
it's exciting. You know, being part of the team at Ortis, it just watching everything happen and contributing when you can, and getting out of the way and supporting others so they can do what they need to do, and it's I've never been a part of an initiative like this. It's very, very, very cool.
yep, for sure. So I know that's coming. I mean, obviously we got the conference in May. Um, I don't think AI is going anywhere, so I think that's going to just keep getting bigger and better in 2025.
That's just running command box solutions. Says nice. The yeah, for me personally, I'm hoping to do a little more cloud stuff. Um, Gavin, were you? I can't remember, Gavin. So the year before, a group of us had a little study group to get AWS certified. Um, I got certified. David Bellinger got certified. You got certified, right, Gavin?
No, I never completed the that. I
Oh, you
got
never
too
took the
busy with
test.
some client projects and dropped the ball. So started the
Oh, I'm
course
sorry.
and never finished it. So
I thought you did for some reason. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
nah, that's
bring up.
okay.
So, but I've been doing a lot of cloud stuff this year with clients and things and learning, and I'm hoping next year is going to be more of the just keep doing it.
Yep, there's definitely plenty to learn there. So very cool. So anybody else in the chat got anything else they think 25 might bring or hope to bring?
Want to bring, or you want to, what's the word? Envision it to make it happen. If you think it, it'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
David's like,
we're not
box leg release.
yeah, we're not as good with the prediction episodes like some of the other podcasts out there. But I'm curious to see what'll happen with everything. Just
We're not talking politics, we're talking tech.
yeah.
Something everyone can agree on, technology. Wait, no.
Yeah. That'll be
Task versus
interesting.
space. Oh
Well,
my God, I just rewatched, I love the TV show Silicon Valley, HBO coming out. If you ever seen it, Gavin? Love, love, love that show. And I binge watched it again like a month ago. And I'm just like, I watch it and just laugh and laugh. And
yeah,
anyway,
I have to get into that. I watched a couple of episodes but never watched all of it. I need to go back and do that again. So I guess
just,
some
ooh, wish list, JS runtime and boxlang. Interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
We'll have to. I know they've got a lot of crazy ideas bouncing around. A few of them I probably shouldn't say, but they're just talking about, okay, once we get the CFML stuff done, like whatever languages can we port, whatever things can we try building some ASTs for and trying to get conversions, because legacy migration from other languages is one of the things we're looking at with Boxling as well. How can we make it easier to help customers switch from other languages over? So
Yeah,
be
well,
interesting for sure.
thanks for the suggestion, Jordan. We'll throw it into the mix, and feel free to advocate for it as well in the box team slacks, and they'll see it's more than just Gavin and I saying we should do this. No, people want this, and
Yeah, I was gonna say there's plenty of JavaScript runtimes out there. Be kind of curious to see how Dino and Bun and Node progress, and of course there's new ones coming out as well. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, very cool. Well, I guess enough talking about 2024, 2025. Let's go have a look at some of the news and updates. And there was one right before Christmas that everybody was like, "Thanks, Santa." Um, I got work to do, but it was a good thing because Adobe security updates were released on December 23rd. So Fusion 2023 Update 12 and 2021 Update 18 were released. And they're critical security updates. And basically, it's a proof of concept that could cause an arbitrary file system read based on a new security bulletin. But it was basically a side effect of fixing the one from March that we talked about the last time we had the podcast. And so that one there is an update to help fix the side effects. And there's a couple other things in there, of course. Brian, is it Brian O'Reilly or Brian Riley? I always forget that.
I don't
The
know.
Hoya Hexa. Hoya Hexa is his blog, but he also did a pretty deep dive and analysis of that CVE, and so he's really jumps in pretty deep with that, and so we got a link there for that as well. And then Charlie, of course, had a detailed update as well. And
Ooh.
one thing on his that I thought was interesting is that he talks about the PMT, like you might be affected even though you don't think you would be, because the PMT, the performance tool set and whatever, the PMT performance monitoring tool set, had some possible issues there. So definitely, if you have 2023 or 2021, make sure you read through this information, see if it applies to you, make sure you get those patches updated. Gotta be
Hey,
safe.
Gavin.
Yep.
We missed something for 2025.
Oh yeah. Adobe
Adobe
2020.
Fusion 2025.
That's a good point, because yeah, they're in the beta right now, and they'll be releasing sometime, I believe, early in 2025. So first few months.
Sure. Yeah, they're in the beta program. If you want to go sign up there and go kick the tires and whatnot, but yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So good point. So yeah, so that was the big news update release for the last couple of weeks, was that release there. So go check that out. Make sure you're protected and safe. And yeah.
Sweet, 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 sweet. So we've got webinars, meetups, and workshop. In case you missed it, SAC Interactive meetup, and I did miss it. All I Want for Christmas is AI with Luke Kilpatrick. And I think I signed up to attend it, and then I got busy.
Yep, I can't find the link in there. I thought that you'd get the link if you weren't able to attend, but I can't see it. So if Nolan listens, hopefully he can give us the link or let us know how to find it. And also, when we had Kai on the podcast last episode, he mentioned he's actually going to be doing a talk in January for the second interactive meetup. It's not on their listings yet, so we'll have to check out that as soon as it gets posted. So keep an eye out for that. Usually it's in the second, third week. So Kai will be presenting. So
if you go join their meetup, I'm sure you get notified when they post new events and keep up with them.
Yep, exactly. Okay, well, next up we have CFcast content. So cfcast.com for all your video training purposes for CFML and related topics. And we give you a Merry Christmas. For all those paid subscribers, you're now able to access all the Into the Box 2024 videos. So if you're not sure what you're doing tonight or tomorrow, you can watch hours and hours and hours of Into the Box goodness. So that series is up there. And again, it's for paid subscriptions. If you're not a paid subscriber, sign up. It's only $25 a month, I believe, and you can get access to all that information. So a lot of great sessions there. And then maybe if you like it, you'll sign up for your actual ticket to come to the conference. So
I can tell you, we are actively working on the content for the ITB, and we've got some good speakers. And
yep,
I'm sure we'll be announcing info soonish. I don't want to put timelines on our people, but
yeah, we've contacted the first round of accepted speakers, just trying to get them to make sure they can confirm that they are still available and willing to travel and everything else. So once they've confirmed, we'll be announcing that. But yeah, we, like Daniel said, we had the first round, so a lot of good topics, really hard to choose. But we are making progress on that in between the holiday times and people's traveling and paid time off. So
yep. I mean, the one thing we can tell you for sure is that I'll be there. Gavin, you'll be there.
yeah,
Brad will be there. Luis will be there. John will be there. A lot of the Ortis team. Jacob will be there. Jacob better be there. We're doing a workshop together.
yeah. So yeah, we've been working on the workshop, so there are a couple there. I'm not sure if we're allowed to announce them officially yet, but
I don't think so. Let's wait for. I don't want to get in trouble from our marketing people who do a really awesome job with getting things out there, and I don't want to get in their way.
Yeah, but we're narrowing that down too, so we'll have that for you very shortly as well. But like Daniel said, we're in Washington, D.C., April 30th through the 2nd. So if you're just coming for the conference and not the workshops, it's going to be May 1st and 2nd. If you want to attend the workshops, that's April 30th as well. We're going to be at the same venue and everything else. If you go to intothebox.org, you can see the website, and we'll be adding all the information up there. But tickets, I'm going to actually click on this right now and just see if the tickets still at early bird pricing, because they were 50% off, and they should be until, yep, well, it's early bird discount. I'm not sure if that's
from $215 or $249.50. Early bird and workshop, blind ticket only. Oh, sales ended for the blind tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So early bird, workshop, and conference is now up to the.
Yep. So, well, actually, $249 for the conference. It says it's still 50% off. So, yeah, maybe. Well, basically, as soon as we make the announcement, it's going to go up. So if you're interested in going, definitely recommend you grab that now. Put it in your 2024 budget, or ask for permission for your 2025 budget. Get those tickets before they go up. The call for speakers is closed. Like I said, we have started contacting some speakers. We haven't been contacted yet. Doesn't mean you're not going to be a speaker. We're just trying to confirm, and we basically went through and made the first pass on. Yes, we absolutely have to have these sessions. That was sort of the first pass, and once we get confirmation on those, and we go back and do the next ones. There's a lot of them are very similar topics, and we're trying to figure out which one we want or need. And I still swear we could probably fill a week worth of conference days and still have enough content. There's plenty to talk about. But
According to the ITB website, intothebox.org, it's 119 days, 11 hours, 29 minutes, and 24 seconds.
Damn,
22 seconds, 20 seconds.
that's
And
coming fast.
I'm like, okay, I got to start on my presentation. I'm not going to
Right on the day of, like some people.
no, I was good. I was good this year. I was tweaking, but yeah.
Yeah, it's always hard. I always end up changing things the last day, no matter what I do. If I do it 3 months early, I'm still gonna tweak it and change it. But yep,
Mhm.
Into the Box 2025. It's a lot of fun. Great venue, and yeah, looking forward to seeing more of you there this year.
And
Okay.
then following that in May, CF Camp 2025, May 22nd, 23rd, and Munich.
Yep.
I think it's a different venue, but still the Munich airport area. So it's not like it's moved.
Yes. So the Autonomous Hotel, it's actually a new venue, like you were hinting at. Kai gave us a little bit more information on the last episode, but he says it's really nice. There's gonna be more things in the hotel itself, not in the town area. So it'll be a little bit more self-contained. But Call for Speakers is open. You've got to the end of February for that one. It closes February 28th, about 4 a.m. Pacific time. So um, got a couple of months, think about it, submit some sessions, and again, they have a lot of topics related to CFML. So even JavaScript front end stuff, you can do some of that as well. So lots of good options. Go check that out. It's a great conference if you're able to make it there. Highly recommend it.
What are these years? I don't think I can make it this next year, but
Yep,
what are these years I want to get out there? And my wife wants
uh,
to go. She could practice her high school German.
very cool. Yeah, it'll be a good time for sure. It's hard with end of the school year. It's right on the sort of graduation time, and a lot of things going on at school at that time. But as David said, it's worth the trip. So okay, well, let's talk about if you want more conferences, conference.tech is a great place to go look at a list of conferences. But yeah, plenty of options out there for sure. Now blogs, well, we call them posts now, not tweets. So blogs, posts, and videos of the week. So the first one, I'm actually going to try and share my screen here because I think it's worth doing. So for those who haven't been following the Benadell train, he's basically been talking about recently how Envision is closing. They got bought by Miro, and they're basically shutting down the division. But basically, he's made a pretty cool post with a lot of his cool demo videos that he had in internal purposes, basically. So he did all these experiments, and he said that was one of the best thing about that job was to get to, try all these different things, and some stuck and some didn't. And if you see, this page has got video after video after video of all these cool things that he's did. And so yeah, and he was on the team Rainbow Unicorn. So that's their little icon there, but they've got some pretty cool videos. So he's got all these different things. There's some pretty interesting stuff in there. So if you want to check some of those out and see some of the things he's done and talked about over the years on his podcast and on his blog, but wasn't able to share it. But now the company is closing and he's able to do that. So I thought that was pretty cool for him to sort of put them all together and group them there. So very cool. So yep.
Yeah, I
So
would say this. Ben has been a community member for like 20, it's got to be 20 some years, right?
oh yeah, I think he's been around since the late 90s for
It's
sure.
been like awesome, watching him, grow and do what he does and read his, he's a very prolific blogger, and it's cool. We have people in our community that are very, you know, successful and dynamic, and just I'm not articulating myself very well, but it's probably end of the year and feeling a little nostalgic.
Yep, and obviously we wish him the best in wherever his direction takes him, and we're be curious to see what he ends up doing next. Okay, well, next up we have something that Brad posted, and it's Boxline related, but it's on Brad's blog because he's been doing some testing. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at this or not, but Boxlang's query is here, and he says it's 5 times faster than Lucy and 17 times faster than Adobe, which is pretty impressive because I know that Lucy's query had a few issues and some speed problems, and everybody told you never to use it. And so a few years ago, Brad basically locked himself in a cave for 3 months and came back with these updates for Lucy where he really improved the query, and he detailed that. So you can probably find those blog posts right here on his blog. But basically, he talks about how he went and built on the experience that he did when you overhauled Lucy's query and incorporate those lessons to Boxlang's query object. And he sort of details why it's working and why it's so good. But of course, it wouldn't be a blog post of any research merit without sort of some examples. So basically he's gone through and shows the query, and then shows how long it takes to run on each of the different engines. So this basic select query with a department in and a boolean is active equals 1, ordering by a couple of different things. Boxlang was running it in 250 milliseconds, where Lucy was almost 4,000 milliseconds, and Adobe was 1800. So Adobe is actually faster than Lucy, almost twice as fast in this case. But in some of the other examples, it's the opposite. Well, actually, Lucy.
In every example, Boxlang is doing okay.
Yeah, so a basic union here. So you have a union here. Obviously, tiny speed for Boxlang. Actually, the funny thing is Adobe, 490 milliseconds, is actually faster doing a union than just a basic one, which is weird. But anyways, then non-grouping aggregates, again, you can see the speed. And this is where you see Adobe's a little bit slower. And then the grouped aggregates, again, Boxlang and Lucy are pretty quick. I mean, Lucy's down to 841 milliseconds, it's pretty fast. Boxlang 109. Adobe almost 8.5 seconds. And then string concatenation, like operators, two table joins. So yeah, as you can see as he goes down, he's got lots of different examples. And this one here is interesting because he's got a Boxlang versus a Boxlang in the join. So, okay, so you got a 3-table join, so you're just doing select from and the multiple tables and then doing the join and the where versus the join with the inner join. Interesting. Multi-table joins.
So you know what, man? Go read the article. Let's move on. We got lots and lots of content.
Yeah, I know. Just scrolling through. It's really cool. I like seeing all the details. So we'll go a little faster on that one. We'll skip over some of the other stuff. Don't worry.
All right. Well, no, because I want to get done so I can go celebrate with the family. 2020, 2025.
Okay. So next up, Ben, we already found something that actually, oops, sorry, I'm skipping ahead a little bit there. My bad. So go ahead.
Ryan Brown with XByte, talking about top 9 tips for migrating to Adobe ColdFusion to the cloud. Just going to go through there. Sorry, I'm trying to copy paste here. Just talk about how to migrate ACF to the cloud. Tons of features when you go to the cloud, whether it's scalability, performance, cost efficiencies. Just kind of talks about how to do that from a traditional VPS into something more cloud aware.
Yeah, I really like the fact he's really detailed on what to, like under ColdFusion server configuration, what to document, some migration tips, security configurations, and when updating versions, what you need to look for. It's really cool.
Kind of mystifying some of it, because sometimes you say, move to the cloud. Well, what does that mean? Well, no, these are, the realistic things to think about and look out for, and what to document and security things. And
yeah, I really like this. It was a good blog post, so I wanted to make sure everybody was aware. Use that as your checklist. Okay. Ben Adele had a blog post considering the aesthetics and ergonomics of the postback URLs in ColdFusion. So in the old days, we used to have a page. You'd fill out some data and you click the button, it would submit to itself. And at the top of the page, you said, if it was a form submission, do this, otherwise show the form. And so he's basically using similar approach there and basically having a is submitted equals 1 And so if you submit something, it would basically load the data from your submission. If it wasn't, it would set up defaults. Um, yeah. And so basically, this is just a little work through he did on that. So kind of
Kind of
neat. And a lot of people,
throwback.
sorry, go ahead.
I'll say it's kind of a throwback to. I feel like we were looking at this stuff like 20 years ago, and it's like everything old is new again.
Yeah. I mean, and that's sort of the thing. It's like, he's talking about single page apps versus multi-page apps, and, yeah, things have sort of changed a little bit. And yeah, it's kind of interesting to have that approach, and just he wanted to consider the aesthetics of using something like that. And yeah, these days everyone seems to have actions, and and because the big thing is it's like if your URLs redirect without the query params or without the form input, it can change the page dramatically. So
Yeah.
anyway, again, yep. And then we had the blog post from Brian about the Cold Fusion update and security vulnerability. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. So we'll
Space
let
the
you
links.
do that. And same with Charlie, he had the Cold Fusion updates as well. So he talked about those pieces. And again, he had some really good feedback, especially if you're using the PMT, because yeah, it might apply to you. Because you don't use it, it doesn't mean it doesn't apply to you. So always be thorough about that. And then we had another blog post from Ortus about partnering with Boxlang and Ortus into the Box 2025. So again, we've been talking a lot about Boxlang and the conference, but have you set up a smart home yet, Daniel? Is your home smart?
Dude, my home, I'm the dumbest thing in my home, put it that way. I've fully bought into the Amazon ecosystem, and I've got probably a dozen Echoes controlling lights and devices. And I've got, yeah, my home is smart.
Cool. Yeah, I've done bits and pieces of it, and I've got a smart thermostat, and I've got some lights and a few things, but I don't go whole hog. Like I don't have it where, you know, things lock at a certain time, or my lights in my office turn off when it's 5 o'clock, like I should be leaving to go get dinner ready or whatever
Well,
else. Like some people do all that, you know.
I do some of that. Like my outdoor lights turn on and off on a schedule based on the time of day, or, um, and then it's so honestly for me, when Alexa first came out was like 2012 or so, maybe 2013, whatever. Because I was like one of the early adopters with the original, and it was like, man, living in a Star Trek
Yep.
environment. Do this, do that, and it's just so second nature all the time, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely use like the dinner announcements. We have Alexis in each room so we can make announcements and everyone in the house can know it's dinner time and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyway, long story short, Gregory Alexander wrote a blog post, things that I wish I'd known before setting up a smart home. So this is like a smart home primer. And he actually talks about doing some debugging too. He had issues with certain things because of certain brands. He actually had like router issues, and the router was having issues, and that was causing problems. Changed brands, and that fixed those
Yeah.
issues. So, a lot of interesting things, around. So, yeah. So I thought it was a really cool article, and this time of the year, maybe we got a little bit more time to implement some of these things over the new year. So, wanted to share that one with you guys too. So, thanks, Gregory, for that one.
And one quick little story about this is
Mm-hmm.
so I just mentioned we're very early adopters of the Alexa apps and talking to interactive. Well, when my son was born in 2013, he would hear his mother and I talk to it, and he wanted to talk to it, and because he wanted to talk to it, it actually learned how to enunciate better, just so he could talk to the Alexa. And I firmly believe that he was able to talk a lot better because of the Alexa, and just being able to, hey, play this or play that. Or one day we're like in the other room and he's like calling his grandmother. It's like, what? Because they had gotten them at Alexa as well. And um, so, yeah, it helped his speech development. Not that he had a
Yeah,
problem. It advanced him a bit. And
yeah. I know we use it when we're in New Zealand, and we'll like get on the Alexa app and actually like video chat with the kitchen when we have a show, and so we can talk to my mother-in-law, or if one of the kids is at home and we're not there, we can, see who's up and whatever. Just, it's easier than calling their phone or their device, because, kids are never charged or near their stuff. So yeah, but it's pretty cool. So there's some cool stuff with it, and got all the door locks and everything I've got to install here sometime too. So we'll see if I can make them even smarter. But
2025.
yep. Well, thank
So
you,
tomorrow.
Gregory, for that one. Yeah, exactly, tomorrow. And then, yeah, we also had a blog post because Otis is going to be a silver sponsor at the prestigious J Focus conference, and JFOKUS, J Focus, and it's going to be in Stockholm, Sweden, in early February. So Luis is going to be there, and he's going to be speaking. But yeah, so if you're in Europe and you want to, move down to Sweden for a couple of days, the J Focus one is a Java conference, and he's going to be talking about Boxlang and Lambdas. So that'll be pretty cool. So the next one, though, is something I was like, aha, Ben Nadell is already busy because he's doing another podcast.
Oh, this is a brand new one.
Yeah, this is not his normal podcast. The Working Code podcast is taking a little break, basically, over the winter break, I guess, with the holidays and everything else.
Hmm.
And Ben Nadell has been doing some podcasts with Ryan Brown, not Brian, Ryan Brown from XByte. And so they actually did a little podcast with one of the speakers at CF Summit. So Justin Scott was talking about cryptography. And so they actually had a little video chat with him. So it's actually up on, they post on the Cold Fusion portal, but the recording is up on YouTube. So if you want to find out a bit more about that, you can check that one out too. So
Nice.
the Ben is staying busy already.
Well, and Ryan too.
Yeah, for sure. So, yep. What else do we have here?
We got a blog post from Ortis, Codebox free tip number 6, using routing with wildcard domains.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys know or not, but obviously, ColdBox router is pretty powerful, gives you a lot of options, but it actually allows you to do things differently depending on what domain is running the app as well. So you can actually use with domain as a method. And so that way, if you have, full domains or subdomains, it can actually treat it a little differently too. So um, obviously CodeBox allows a lot of things here. ContentBox has multi-site, which, uses the domains as well for that. So that's sort of part of how it ties it all together. So it's pretty cool. And so, yeah, that's another one of those free tips, part of the 102 quick tips and tricks. There's some blog posts there we've been releasing the last, I guess, month or two.
Well, it's actually, I guess that's our Boxling corner, but there's only one. So let's just talk about it here.
Yep.
This is the one from Luis. I'm talking about why Boxling when you have Kotlin, Groovy, Scala, and more. He kind of talks through, we get a lot of questions. Why Boxling? Why are you doing Boxling? You've got this, you've got that. And he kind of goes through and talks about, why we did it. Some of our vision of why we're doing it this way, and the multi-run times and the parser Java interrupt, and just, kind of reinforcing things we've been saying all year long.
Yep. Exactly. And we always get the question, why not Adobe and why not Lucy? But a lot of times people are like, well, if you're not going to use one of those two languages and you want to use another language, why not use one of the existing Java languages or JVM-based ones like Kotlin, Groovy, and Scala? So this one really dives more into that. And so that's a lot more detail into that, because obviously we're going to conferences like JFocus and talking to other Java developers. They want to know, why didn't you just use one of the other great Java languages out there? And so this one talks about why. So
I really think once one of the big things for me is once this is all released and everything's settling, people are going to realize it's the kind of the Swiss Army knife of languages and integrations, and can really use Boxlang to do all sorts of things. It's more than just CFML. It's more than Boxlang. It's going to be all sorts of languages, kind of whatever you need to do, you'll be able to build it with it. It'll be the ultimate middleware language.
yeah,
That's my prediction.
yeah. But one of the things too is like there's we looked at moving to Groovy a long time ago. Like when things weren't well with the CFML world, like Luis took a serious look at other languages and stuff, and they go to conferences all the time and they see the pain points those developers had. And so that's the thing. Boxlang improves all those pain points. Because Kotlin and Groovy and Scala, they have some really big pluses, but the amount of code you need to do to a simple view in Groovy was ridiculous. So, and Brad would be showing these people like, I can do it better in Cold Fusion than you can, it's like, and
and
so,
faster.
yeah. And so yeah, so it really is one of those things that we really put all the lessons learned from all the languages back for Boxlang. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. Okay, we have CFML jobs, which you can find more information on getcfmljobs.com. Looks like we had one new one listed recently.
Sorry, I was context switching. Full-time senior software engineer, remote in Fort Washington, US. Let's go ahead and post that link here.
Excuse me. And so it's for M3 USA. It's a healthcare innovation company offering digital solutions across healthcare, life sciences, pharmaceuticals, and more. Yes, they've been around since 2000. So, yeah, they're looking for a senior software engineer in Cold Fusion to join their global research of M3. A lot of things in there. I will let you guys read that on your own. It's a pretty big blog
Well,
post.
what's kind of funny, we see these, and I'm aware of them. I don't usually read them too much unless I know people that are looking. And sometimes people, hey, keep an eye out if you see something. And um, yeah,
So pretty good benefit plan and an interesting mix of technologies in there too. So
well, I think it's something that's been pretty common. They want a Cold Fusion person, but if you don't know Cold Fusion, but you know other languages, they're probably open to talking to you.
yeah, I always like looking and seeing what ones they throw out there. Oracle and or other relational database
JSP,
experience.
jQuery.
Yep.
Although they do say strong knowledge of CF required, so maybe
Yep.
they won't be looking for newbies. But
Yep. So that wraps up our job section. Remember, the CFML Slack and Box Team Slack do have job channels. So if you're looking, or if you have something that you're looking for someone for, post them in there as well and let us know if you want to put it on the podcast. Okay, well, next up we have our Coldbox or ForgeBox module of the week, and this week is a new one that Otis just released. It's Coldbox Cut SDK module. I'd never heard of this before. Have you?
No, I was just saying. And I also did not look at this part of the show notes, apparently.
Yeah, so Cut is a modern URL shortener with a support for custom domains. Shorten URLs, manage your links, and view the click rate statistics. And it's a website that you can go and actually, sign up for a plan and, use the URL shortener, but it's open source. That means you can download it and host them on your own servers. And this module provides SDK for creating and managing those URLs. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, if we wanted to do our own little auto short links or whatever, we could do that, and you have click stats and everything else. So really simple to integrate into it. And they do have a Docker set up for the server too, so you could probably just throw it up on a Docker container. It does have a few different pieces to make it work nicely, but that's okay. Like I said, Docker will handle all of that for you. But yeah, so
I'm trying to go to the website. So from the ForgeBox link, I clicked on the GitHub link to go to the GitHub for the SDK, and then there they've got a link to the Cut application, and I'm getting an error. My
well, if you go straight from ForgeBox to Cut, you can see an example.
it's kutt.it.
Yep.
My I'll show you after. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll get a responsive.
Yeah, so manage links, custom domain API too, so you can create and delete them from anywhere. And again, free and open source. And yeah, and if you do want to pay, you can pay for premium accounts here. So they have, small little accounts and up to platinum, and you can pay annually, monthly, or 3 years. But again, it's open source, so you can just go to GitHub and then pull it down yourself. So it does have quite a lot of key features. But yeah, the stack is doing a lot of things. So you've seen here, there's quite a lot. But yeah, if you want to use Docker, you can use the Docker setup. So pretty neat.
Nice.
Yeah, and it has Chrome extensions too, which is pretty cool. So I thought that sounded like a new module worth sharing. So that is our ForgeBox module of the week. Coldbox cut. Cut your URLs down. Use the cut URLs. So there we go.
Okay. And now we've got our VS Code hint, tip, and trick of the week. We've got demo time. Script your coding demos to perfection. Well, of course, that's something we don't never need to do because you're always perfect at our presentations. But uses VS Code extension, no typos, no missteps, just flawless, stress-free presentations every time. I feel like we need this.
Yeah, so it's a newer one. I admit it doesn't have that many downloads or 5 stars or anything else, but it does look kind of cool that you can basically, the VS Code extension has a demo time tab, and you can basically click each of the steps, just like you would do a presentation, and it can run little scripts in your terminal. It can highlight code. As you click through, it'll open different pages, and like open to a certain line, it'll highlight blocks of code for you to, show. So it's kind of like a more, developer friendly demo. So, and apparently it's not too hard. They have some example usage in here and some of the steps as well. Yeah, so you can tell it where to position the cursor and how to write code out to line. So you can actually have it basically typing out your examples line by line using this, so you don't have to mistype when you're doing your live coding. So it has, wait for inputs and wait for timeout options. And yeah, you can execute VS Code commands as well, show info messages
around internally to the team for when they're working on their presentations.
Yeah, and it's something new. I haven't actually used it yet. I just saw it and thought this looks pretty cool. That, you could actually highlight stuff in your files. This is kind of cool too. To actually blur out the other items, so you pay more attention to it. But yeah, it seems like pretty decent documentation, and here's an example file to play with as well. So, but yeah, it's kind of a neat little one I thought would be worth sharing. And yeah, if it does work, we can maybe use that for our presentations at ITB. So if not, we can contribute back to them too, try and get it working. But I was pretty excited about that. So
nice.
There you go. So demo time, VS Code extension.
Okay, my friend, let's bring it home.
Yep. So thanks to all our Patreon supporters. As we mentioned before, 61 patrons now, which is pretty awesome. We've really appreciate each and every one of them, because they're generally personally supporting our open source initiatives. There are a few companies in there, but a lot of them are just individual developers who are saying thank you, and we really do appreciate each and every one of them. And the majority of their funding goes towards our cloud infrastructure that we use for ForgeBox, CommandBox, and our package management. So that helps support all of the community, not just ColdBox stuff too. There's other frameworks and tools using CommandBox and ForgeBox as well for their package management. So that's helping everything. So we really do appreciate them. If you go to patreon.com/ordersolutions, you can find out more about our packages, and they get a few perks for being a patron, right, Daniel?
Yep. Bronze packages it up. You now get a ForgeBox Pro and a CFcast subscription as a perk. All Patreon supporters have a profile badge and community website. All supporters have their own private forum access on the community website. And they also have their own private channel access on the Box Team Slack. And so while you support it, you're going to get Gavin in there just looking around saying, hey, who wants to chat and code?
Yep. Sometimes we do that. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try and use that channel to, ask different things. That's where we mention some of the little things we're working on. And if you guys got questions or ideas, it's a good place to make that seen as well. Of course, we can only read out some of our top patrons because we have so many, which is a great problem to have. but we'll go ahead and mispronounce all their names now. So thank you,
I want to
John.
do it.
Oh, you want to do it? Okay.
I want to do it
I'll let you
because
do it
several
then.
of these people are here and some of them are our friends. So top Patreons, we got John Wilson at Synaptrex. Great guy. Like him a lot. Tomorrow's Guides. Jordan Clark, he's in the chat. Thanks for stopping by, Jordan. Gary Knight, he's in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Giancarlo Gomez. David Bellinger, he's in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Dan Card, James Molberg, and Jeffrey McGee at Sunstar Media. Dean Mounder, Kevin Wright, Doug Kane, Nolan Irk, and Abdul Raheen. Of course, there are many more Patreons. We're up to 61, but those are kind of the top contributors.
Yep.
As always, you can see an update list of all our sponsors on the Order Solutions website, and I will paste that link.
Yep. So yeah, happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Best wishes for your celebrations tonight and into 2025, and hopefully 2025 is bigger and better in every way. Well, not bigger.
It'll be Boxling year in every way.
Yep, it should be really good, and it'll be a sad one because we'll be missing David at ITB. But other than that, I see a lot of good things coming in 2025. So good luck, everybody. Best wishes, and we'll see you all next year.
Take care.
Bye, everybody. Show notes for this episode can be found at cfmlnews.modernize.io, where you can also subscribe to your favorite podcast player like Spotify or iTunes. We also have the link to YouTube to find more videos just like this. The music used in this podcast is under a royalty-free license from Sound.com and Blue Tree Audio.